degree honoris causa to this leader in the world of oil and gas and infrastructural development. Therefore, I turn to you, sir, to give effect to this Senate vote by conferring Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa on Prince Arthur Eze, who has already been decorated with the honor of Officer of the Federal Republic. Thank you, sir. On Ambassador Godwin Aloma Onyebula, KSC. Honorable Chancellor, sir, I present Ambassador Godwin Aloma Onyebula, diplomat, administrator, and bureaucrat in the service of the Federal Republic for award of an honorary degree of the University of Nigeria. Ambassador Onyebula entered the public service in the dying days of the British colonial administration and became the first African district commissioner to serve in Onu, Port Harcourt, and Ogoja. He then switched to the foreign service and was later appointed secretary to the military governor of Eastern Nigeria. Honorable Chancellor, sir, the man before you has served his country at home and abroad, and since retirement as a private citizen, his manner of serving marked by both commitment and joy. In the charities he is involved in, he has striven to bring comfort to suffering people far and near, notwithstanding lean resources. The Senate of the University of Nigeria has spotted him and voted him the award of a Doctor of Public Administration honoris causa. I invite you, sir, to place the seal of the University of Nigeria on this square. Thank you, sir.
authority vested in me as the Chancellor, I confer on you the honorary degree of Doctor of Public Administration of the University of Nigeria.
Honorable Justice Ezebilo Ozobu, candidate for award of a doctorate degree honoris causa of the University of Nigeria. Honorable Chancellor, sir, I present His Majesty Igwe Ezebilo Ozobu, retired Chief Justice of Enugu State and former President General Ohaneze Igbo, for award of an honorary degree of the University of Nigeria. The shining track record of this retired Chief Judge, Mr. Honorable Chancellor, came to the notice of the Senate of the University, which is especially cognizant of his mighty labors for the public good as a judge, and not forgetting his insightful researches into some of the silences of customary law, his outstanding leadership of Ohaneze Igbo, and the exemplary and enlightened rule of this community. The Honorable Senate has therefore voted him a doctoral award, honoris causa. May I humbly invite you, sir, to confer on Ezebilo Ozobu the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws of the University of Nigeria, honoris causa. Thank you, sir.
confer on you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws of the University of Nigeria. On Professor Frank N. Ndili, candidate for investiture as a Professor Emeritus of the University of Nigeria. Honorable Chancellor, sir, I present on behalf of the Senate of the University of Nigeria its one-time leader, Professor Frank N. Ndili, who, as Vice Chancellor of this great university, envisioned Vice Chancellor of this great university, envisioned that it would not be content to be a great national university, but was destined for world-class status, and so built in a grand way. Today, the Nnamdi Azikiwe Library, the School of General Studies, and the Faculty of Arts Complex stand as testimony to his grand vision. Honorable Chancellor, sir, before you is an icon, if ever there was one. Easily one of the best-known names in the history of this university. A Promethean title in the matter of bringing newness to this university, and a Periclean master builder in the matter of managing the space available to it with a view to signify its strength and indicate its future orientation. It is my bounden duty, sir, to invite you to reach out Professor Frank Ndili in the colors of a Professor Emeritus. Thank you, sir.
By the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, I confer on you the title of Professor Emeritus of the University of Nigeria.
Of this great day, I wish to call out the respective candidates for position of emeritus professors of the University of Nigeria. As I call them, will their respective deans please come out to help to gown them. Professor E. Ansui, Faculty of Arts, Professor E. Ansui. Professor Ola Oloide, Faculty of Arts, University of Nigeria. Engineer Professor Cornelius Ikechukwu Ezekwe, Professor of Mechanical Engineering, University of Nigeria. Professor Louis Ume, Professor of Estate Management, University of Nigeria. Professor Sami Izundu Agajelu, Professor of Geodesy. Professor Paul Okonkwo, Professor of Pharmacology. Professor Nene Obianyo, Professor of Pediatric Surgery. Professor J.C. Azubike, Professor of Pediatrics. Professor John Oli, Professor of Internal Medicine. Professor Peter Onyekwere Ebibo, Professor of Psychological Medicine. Professor Uchenna Megafu, Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Professor C.O. Okogwe, Professor of Geology. Professor J.C. Amazigo, Professor of Mathematics. Professor Kajetan Okeke, Professor Charles Okolo Okafo, Professor of Chemistry. Professor E.C. Okafo, Professor J.N. Adishe, Professor of Statistics. Professor Silvanus Madoka Anika, Professor of Veterinary Medicine. These great academics, in these specialties I've announced, have distinguished themselves in their intellectual endeavors. They have not only impacted the academic world, but the society, and have continued to do that even after they have concluded their services to the university. That is why the Senate of the University of Nigeria has decided to honor them today.
By the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, I confer on you all the title of Professor Emeritus of the University of Nigeria. Congratulations.
I have the honor and privilege to invite the visitor to deliver his address. Visitor, sir.
Your Excellencies, State Governors here present and their representatives, members of the Federal and State Executive Councils, members of the National and State Assemblies here present, the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, our new Chancellor of this great university, His Royal Majesty Oni of Ife, the Pro-Chancellor and members of the Governing Council of this university, the Vice-Chancellor, visiting Vice-Chancellors of other universities, heads of tertiary institutions here present, distinguished honorary awardees, the management, senate, and staff of this university, my lords, spiritual and temporal, our royal fathers, and other traditional rulers here present, esteemed invited guests of the university, parents and guardians of our graduating students, the alumni of this great institution, great lions and lionesses, graduating students and other students, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege to read the address of the visitor to this institution. It is my singular honor and pleasure to attend this event, which marks the auspicious celebration of the 45th convocation ceremonies of this great institution. Today marks yet another milestone in the history of this university, a day of appreciation to God for sparing our lives to witness another convocation ceremony. Therefore, we to seize this unique opportunity to rejoice with and congratulate the Governing Council, management staff, students, and others of this memorable occasion. Let me, at this point, join millions of other well-meaning Nigerians in congratulating our graduates, their parents, relations, friends, well-wishers, as well as the entire university community for this remarkable achievement. It is worthy of note that this achievement did not come on a platter of gold, but by dint of hard work, sacrifice, endurance, and painstaking efforts. Indeed, we have many reasons to rejoice, one of which is that the atmosphere of peace and tranquility pervades this university campus, making it conducive for teaching and learning. Before I proceed, I wish to commensurate with the university community for the demise of the Chancellor of the University, His Royal Majesty Oba Akorade Siwaju Olubunse II, the Oni of Ife. I must also say that the late Chancellor provided a quality leadership in running of this university. I now congratulate His Imperial Majesty Oni Adeyeye Enitan Ogowunsi Ojaja II for his ascension to the enviable throne of Oni of Ife. I've approved the appointment of His Imperial Majesty Oni Adeyeye Enitan Ogowunsi Ojaja II as the Chancellor of this great university. This appointment is based on his wealth of experience and its capacity to manage men and resources. I had earlier during this occasion formally installed him as Chancellor of the University of Nigeria. I therefore wish to congratulate him again and wish him a successful tenure as he is being installed today. Government is indeed worried about the depleting standard and quality of education in our country, and in particular that of teaching and research in our universities and other tertiary institutions. This unfortunate situation has continued to impact negatively on the quality of our graduates. Nigerian universities should therefore ensure that the quality of graduates produced are in tandem with global acceptable standards. It is worthy of note that research has not been given the premium attention it deserves, but has also tended to be relegated to the background in our universities, whereas research should drive national development. Therefore, our universities are to ensure that this anomaly is urgently reversed so as to ensure the emergence of a knowledge-driven society as foundation for our national development. In order to encourage research initiatives in our universities, this government, besides making adequate budgetary provisions, will continue to encourage state-fund interventions in research and development. The University Governing Councils and Senate are hereby directed to urgently put in place measures to restore the lost research culture in our universities. During my inaugural speech, I have stated that government will ensure the improvement of the standards and quality of education on a longer term. Let me also use this medium to reiterate the objective of the federal government in the provision of qualitative education, especially at the tertiary level. This initiative, however, requires the support of all stakeholders. If there's one thing most Nigerians agree on, it is the fact that our educational sector needs urgent revamping. Permit me to say at this point, and very sadly too, that the current standard of education in Nigeria has, unfortunately, tended to differentiate Nigerians into three classes. A majority that is well educated, a majority that is either miseducated or poorly educated, and a third without education at all. This is not healthy for our country. Concerted efforts should be made to reverse this very ugly trend. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is noteworthy to mention that my administration recognizes the globalization of markets, the interdependency of international systems, the expanded role of technology, and highly skilled technical manpower. Professional and managerial leaders are the key drivers of any national economy. In all this, functional education plays a fundamental role. In the area of knowledge-based economy, we cannot but key into this global trend by giving the desired attention to quality of education that we offer. This is why education, especially higher education, will always remain a prime factor in the change agenda of my administration. We are determined to improve access and quality as well as ensure equity in our educational system in line with the ideals of educational components of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 2030. Furthermore, this administration will continue to place educational emphasis on infrastructure, teacher development, curriculum relevance, funding and planning to bring about the expected change in our educational development. We will also give considerable attention to technical and vocational education and training, TVET, in order to empower Nigerian youth to engage creatively with their world of work. The other value of TVET is the production of artisans, technicians, and technologists who will be enterprising and self-reliant, thus having the greatest potential to generate manpower and employment, reduce poverty, and eliminate social miscreants in our society. It has been acknowledged that the universities have the potential and responsibility of producing the necessary human capital to drive the various development initiatives of the economy. It is also recognized that Nigeria cannot achieve accelerated development without high investment in education. However, government alone cannot shoulder the financial responsibility involved in providing adequate education. The organized private sector should play a definite role in the task of funding the provision of quality education. Universities are therefore expected to design programs that will attract private sector participation in funding education. Furthermore, to whom much is given, much is expected. The universities are expected to develop patriotic ideas by identifying with the national cause and observing corporate discipline through competent management and accountability in their various operations. At this point, may I stress the zero tolerance to corruption of this administration, and we are determined to lead by example. We shall obey our laws and shall be transparent, accountable, just, fair, and sure integrity in all our undertakings. I therefore urge the leadership of this university to continue to be prudent, transparent, and accountable in the management of both human and material resources. Government is determined to fight corruption at all levels, including our tertiary institutions. Universities are therefore challenged to develop curriculum and sessions that will imbibe the culture of anti-corruption in our products. As part of the measure to curb corruption, government has introduced the Treasury Single Account TSA in all its ministries, departments, and agencies, to which I have been duly informed that the tertiary education sector has fully complied. You will agree with me that this, in no small measure, will prevent diversion and misappropriation of government funds. Let me emphasize here that the task of grooming our young people for national development rests squarely on the universities. Teachers should not use their students as laboratories for their doctrines or as cannon fodder for their struggles in society. They should see them as sacred gardens they should tend to as our future generations. The students under your care must not be used as agents for the destabilization of our country. Our universities must demonstrate high quality intellectual leadership that will engender political, economic, and social progress. Together, we shall build a nation that will be the pride of all of us. As we revel in the celebrations of this moment, I wish to again remind us of our collective responsibility in making Nigeria great. We are all stakeholders in this project. In your own corner, institution, family, or organization, be a light and a positive influence for our national commonwealth to be sustained. Let me use this medium to commend the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council and members of the university management for the harmonious working relationship which has helped to allow the climate of peace, law, and order to reign in this